Greetings, gods and goddesses in training. Welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara, all relations. Today we're talking all about spirit guides, okay? They've been talking to you. They've been talking to you, however, you've been ignoring them. And I want you to understand something before I begin, guys. A ritual, okay, is the idea of being in a specific state of mind, okay? So the reason why we do rituals is because it helps us activate a specific state of mind that is receptive towards spirit communication. Okay? So rituals are really, really key, especially if you do a couple of flow state rituals daily in repetition over and over and over and over and over again until you reach a pinnacle, you reach a precipice of this thing. And as you reach a precipice of your own spiritual path, you'll start to notice different guides, usually associated with different chakra points and so forth. Okay, as we've discovered on this specific path, Primal Sutra, you're going to start to unveil and uncover your angels, your spirit guides, your higher intelligence. Beautiful, right? But let's be honest, maybe some of you aren't feeling it. And you keep thinking, man, it would be so damn comforting to know that something's got my back, that there's some divine crew working overtime for me, you know? Hey there, babe. Because a lot of people are locked into the ego channel. And once there's too much ego, there's too much static, right? So your attention becomes hijacked from scrolling, ranting too much, gossiping about things, obsessing over things, comparing yourself to others. So that as you keep doing that, you're tuning into everything except your heart. Except your heart, right? So here's the first raw truth. Your guides don't interrupt you, okay? They're not going to yell over your anxiety, your to-do list, your gossip binge. They speak in whispers, not a tweet. So if you're always in someone else's business, numbing out, talking to yourself about what sucks in life, then guess what? You're ghosting your own soul in a certain way, right? So if you want guidance, you got to make space for that guidance. It's very simple, right? There's something called the vacuum law. If there's empty space, it gets filled up by more things, right? Just like you plow snow, there's more snow the next day. That's the vacuum law. So you got to make space for then new information, new energies to come in. And every time you sort of declutter your mind, and as you do that, you might also declutter your room to understand that both are connected. My inner and outer world are connected, right? So I'm learning day by day with practice and determination to treat it like an appointment with something holy, right? Let's say the spirit works like this. Let's say a teacher tells you to show up at Friday at 8 p.m., right? They rang the bell, they waited 45 minutes, but there was no response. And then the next week, she or he confronts you. Where were you? They say, we were here. You didn't come, so we left. That's how spirit works. They show up if you show up. Okay? They show up if you do, not before, not for your convenience. So you either respect the connection that you have with your guides or you completely miss it. So here's what to do if you're really serious about this. Track your attention. What am I actually paying attention to today? If it's some world drama, some noise, some fake urgency, your antenna's broken. Even the 5 minutes in the morning, one hand on your heart, one on your belly, breathing in. It's good to be alive, right? Just that can be such an ignition for you. Just that simple maneuver. And this is so swift and easy to do, guys. We can do this every day. It's good to be alive. Spirit within me, move me towards my highest good today. Right? And start with that. And if you're an atheist watching or listening, you could try this. You could try this. You could say out into the world, God, I don't believe in you, but I want to. Show me signs that you really exist over the next 3 days. And keep doing this night after night, first 3 nights. Okay. And you will notice signs. Okay. But no spoiler alerts. Okay. You try the experiment yourself. Okay. As an atheist, you just try it. You just try it out. See what happens. Why not? Right? If it doesn't work, hey, you're back to still being an atheist. But if it does work, come talk to us. We are Primal Sutra. PrimalSutraMysterySchool.com. Okay. So be specific. Your guides are here to help you, but with what? You got a meeting, you got a date, you got a doctor's visit. Ask your healing team to roll with you. Ask your relationship guardians. Ask for clarity, for presence, for flow state. You name it, right? So don't be vague about it. Spirit is not vague. It's actually very precise. A lot of people think intuition is a lot of vagueness, a bunch of woo-woo, okay? Whereas spirit actually speaks to you very concise when you're open to it, right? So check in during the day before the big moment. Just pause and breathe. I'm here and I'm open. You may not hear anything dramatic, but hey, at least you cracked the door open, right? At least you cracked the door open slightly. So that's enough, actually. Stop expecting words. Guidance doesn't come in full sentences, okay? Sometimes it's a sudden insight or an idea, a pull in your gut, right? Some kind of a sense, a gentle nudge, and you find yourself saying the right thing without even planning it. And that's just the current that's running through you right now, right? So you have to embrace the current of your current frequency, okay? To get towards the state that is most optimal for you, but sustainable for you. Are we getting this, guys? Right? I think no one's gonna ditch social media forever. I would say just don't live there, guys. Okay? 10 minutes is one thing, but if you're numbing, comparing, spiraling, you're gonna be tuning out your guides and tuning into some junk. Okay? It's not that they're not speaking, it's that you filled your channel or your algorithm with garbage, right? It's like when you see a video you don't like, you go, I'm not interested. You have to do the same thing with spirit. Okay? You have to do the same thing with that energy. Like if you have negative, disturbing, discordant energy towards you, you say, no, thank you. I'm not interested. Right? And that then you take your attention away from it, taking away its charge, right? When a person is in power, they are in charge, right? They're voted like a volt. Okay. A politician. Okay. Are we getting this? It's all electricity, guys. So once you understand gratitude isn't polite, it's power. You learn to say thank you to your guides. You learn to say thank you to your guides. Okay. Ideally, I should be using my dowsing rods and saying thank you every time they give me an answer, right? I forget at times. I take it for granted. But you know what? That's not going to work in the spirit world. Because if you're telling the spirit world, I don't know, I can't really get this, why are you not communicating with me? It'll make you repel it. But if you're telling it, I'm listening to you, I trust what's coming to me, I understand the value of this. That's making you more magnetic, right? And when you say thank you in advance to your guides, even if you don't know they exist, you still say thank you to them. It amplifies the signal. Because gratitude can transform any negative lower valence emotion into a positive emotion, guys. Okay. You can't be angry and be grateful at the same time. You can't be stressed and be grateful at the same time. It's completely a different state of beingness, right? And we're going to be talking a little bit more about this intuitive intelligence, as we call it. Okay. So when guidance comes to you, you honor it. You don't argue, you don't doubt it. If it's a quiet, simple nudge towards your connection, towards your growth, then it's real. Right? Your ego wants drama, your spirit speaks in nudges. So just be consistent, be very clear, be respectful. This isn't about being perfect, guys, right? It's about being present. And if you want that divine support squad in your corner, you better show up, right? Turn down the noise, open the line, and let the day unfold with the calm knowing that I'm not alone in this, okay? I'm not alone in this. There's once a monk woman who said, essentially, they asked her, don't you ever feel lonely meditating in a cave? And she said, lonely, it's crowded in here, right? Meaning that there's guides all around her, okay? So that's very inspiring, right? To think that the yadams are all around, right? Your guides are all around, your um, deities are all around you. And if that resonates with you, understand, you just say thank you and you keep on walking, right? That's it. Straight talk from the edge where the sacred meets the everyday. Okay? Not every ritual needs incense. Sometimes all it needs is your presence and your attention. Also, synchronicity isn't some cute cosmic coincidence. It's actually a very, very sacred technology. But most people don't get it. They kind of see the Instagram quotes about it, right? Everything is connected. Okay, we get that, right? But what did Jung see? He saw it straight. People gave up soul work for prestige, swapped the alchemy of the psyche for academic trophies. He saw all of that. And that's where the thread snapped. It's not that synchronicity is too complex, it's that synchronicity is too subtle, it's too alive. You can't just theorize about it or write a blog post on it. You got to sit in it. You got to sit in the synchronicity. You got to live in it and let it rearrange your insides. Guido says, not every ritual needs innocence. Please uh, expand on that statement. Okay. Um, I said incense, brother, not innocence. It doesn't need like, burning candles or like burning sage or something like this. All I was saying is it needs your absolute attention and presence, right? So let's say you go out into the woods every day for just you give yourself an hour, and in that hour you do breath work, you do maybe primal yelling, you stretch your body, you do things which are guided by your spirit, right? And eventually you'll start to notice you're healthier, you're making more money, your relationships are working better. Why is this happening? All you've done is just change your state, right? All you've done is just change your state, but it still has this energy to it, right? So here's where it gets real, man. There's acausal orderedness, laws that govern nature, but don't have a reason. Like, why does uranium decay at that rate? Why is the speed of light what it is? Right? No cause, just isness, like sacred math built into the bones of reality. So then there's synchronicity, though. And this one's the deep cut. That's when the inner world and outer world speaking in unison, not a chain of causes, but an eruption of meaning, right? A divine whisper mid chaos. So imagine this, right? I'll speak on that in a second, Guido. So imagine this, right? Let's say that you order something online, like a gnome, let's say. You buy a gnome statue for your garden, and it's let's make it purple, right? My girl's favorite color. Let's make it purple. So purple gnome statue, right? You order it in the mail, and in the days before it arrives, someone very close to you either gets sick or maybe passes away or gets into an accident or something happens to them, right? And then you notice the statue shows up and it's black. It's not purple. Okay. No explanation. No one knew why that happened, right? But the universe did. But the universe did, right? So that's not superstition. That's a mirror event reflecting your grief with precision. You didn't attract it. You didn't even cause it, right? Was it a mistake, like in the order? Okay. That's the key. It's a singularity. It's a living metaphor. It was created in time. You see, synchronicities aren't formulas, guys, right? It's just poetry written by the unseen. People regress into magical thinking when they see this stuff. God did it. Fate did it. A spirit changed that package. Well, that's not mastery. That's just deflection. The true understanding is it sits at the edge where rationality kisses mystery, right? And Jung, the psychologist, the Swiss psychologist, wrestled with this, right? He wanted to make synchronicity palatable to science, to physics, to a world that needs proof before all. That's the reality, right? We live in an academic world which needs proof before the wonder. So he knew most events can be explained causally, but the gold, it's in the events that can't, right? What are all of these elite doing, right? They're creating different events, mass events, psychic timeline shifts, and they are winning the timeline currently, right? Because they have more people, stronger people, people in high levels of society, right? And so forth. So it's important for you to understand, like prophetic dreams, when someone dreams of an earthquake that hasn't happened yet, there's no logic that explains that. There's only a deeper intelligence of the psyche that moves beyond time and space. And that's where we get synchronicity. So you even heard this from a Japanese student who said, now that you've explained synchronicity, I finally understand causality. Because in some cultures, synchronicity is self-evident, right? It's the default. It's not the mystery. And just like in quantum physics, where singularities birth these unpredictable new particles, synchronicity is like the psyche singularity, right? So the moment something new emerges, untraceable, but utterly meaningful, even birth, and you can view it in two ways, right? A biological chain of events or the universe opening gates in a very specific moment and letting you walk through it. I mean, both of these are going to be true, guys, right? But only one will honor life's mystery. And this is what the mystic loves. We love the mystery. Okay. That's it. I mean, that's what we want to do. We essentially want to bask in the afterglow of the mystery that is life. Okay. So synchronicity isn't an answer, guys. It's an invitation to stop needing control, to trust the pattern behind the pattern. So what I mean is to walk with eyes open and ears tuned to the silence behind the noise. Because once you really see it, once this lands for you, you're no longer living just an ordinary life. You're in conversation with life, right? So you stay open, you stay watchful, but not everything sacred comes with a warning label, right? or a scientific footnote. Some truths arrive wrapped in coincidence. And that's no accident. Wouldn't it be something if you could just know what to do right when life gets muddy, not later, not in hindsight, but in the moment? That's not a fantasy, man. That's what your inner tech was designed for, the real stuff, the intuitive intelligence. What are you worried about, Guido? And now it's coming online fast, right? While AIs are taking over the external world and your inner world is also leveling up. So, hey, if you're paying attention to what's happening, right? So you asked a question, Guido, about guilt, shame, frustration. Does that disrupt the rituals? Well, guilt pulls you into the past. Shame collapses your identity, right? And fear sort of like fear of doing it wrong, like frustration. It's like what blocks presence, right? So this basically, yes, it creates static in your field, and rituals require a very clear transmission, even if it's messy or, a primal. But those emotions definitely clog the channel, or worse, they invite fragmentation into a sacred space. Um, Guido says, I feel like letting go during meditation uh, will release control and give misfortune the opportunity to attack. Okay. Um, all that sounds like is just work around your beliefs, brother. I don't think that's a big issue. I think if you change your belief system, um, to reinterpret that, you know, I think that's going to really help you, bro. Just do some like deep dive into what are some like limiting beliefs that are showing up during meditation, and maybe like keep a little notebook beside you and kind of note it down, right? One is it gives misfortune a opportunity to attack. That's one of them, right? Another one is this. Another one is that, right? And then what you do is you catch the distortions and you say, no, actually, this is an overgeneralization, or this is a rationalization, right? Or this is a black and white thinking, right? So you call it out, and then what you do is you have the rational response for it. So this is belief work, okay? The rational response would be something like, let's say you say you're always late. That's an overgeneralization. You say, I have a better relationship with time. That would be the rational response to that, right? So that's how I want you to work through these beliefs. So yeah, guilt unoffered is a ritual hijacked. Uh, but if you acknowledge these emotions, right, then the ritual actually deepens, right? Let's say shame shows up and you're doing a ritual. Like the ritual will deepen if you can just amplify that and sort of like work your way around it at times. I've noticed this. But again, fear embodied is like a gateway that's opened. So it's not the emotion that disrupts the ritual, it's your resistance to the emotion or identification with it that does. So you can still feel guilt and enter ritual if you bring it to the altar and say, hey, listen, guys, I give this too. I offer even the part of me that wants to hide to you, right? And that's just priest honesty, man. That's just transmutation led to gold right there. Okay. So I hope that helps you out, bro. All right. But yeah, intuitive intelligence, it's coming online fast. Okay. You're in a world that's too unstable for autopilot. You can't coast on old habits and hope that someday someone else saves your ass. What was true yesterday might collapse tomorrow, right? So your guidance system, your intuition, that's not optional anymore. It's your survival gear. Okay. So how do you tune in? You stop fighting it. It's energy literacy. Birds have internal compasses. Whales have sonar. You've got a damn guidance system wired into your spirit, but you were trained out of it, schooled into submission, rewarded for logic, punished for instinct. Okay. Disconnected from your creator core. And that disconnection, that's what's behind the isolation, insecurity, confusion that most people feel. It's really, we want to go from disconnection to connection again. That's a big journey for a creator. You feel alone because you've been stuck in the third dimension, not a place, it's a mindset. Third dimension tells you you're separate. You're on your own, buddy, right? Protect yourself. Just be afraid. And once you believe that, you build walls. But if you breathe long enough and real enough, you will start remembering, wait, I'm not separate. I'm not cut off. I'm not abandoned. I'm connected to the earth. I'm connected to source. I'm connected to others. But we just forgot, right? Your big help, says Guido. Thank you, brother. I'm battling the thoughts of disillusionment from understanding we're in a fake material world, and the depression stifles my own game of life. I start feeling fraudulent. Yeah, because you're tuning into that static, right? That's the energy of it. It's the ego mind identity. And it feels like static. It's a bunch of noise. And but once you can create your own inner melody, I'm sure you create music or you maybe you do something creative, I'm guessing. But you can access it through that, right? Offer your lower energies to them. Some guides and spirits really enjoy that, yet it requires spiritual cojones. I like it. Yep, definitely. Definitely. Okay. So kill the noise. Your intuition can't get a word in if your mouth's running like 80 tabs and 4 group chats deep, right? Just start with breath. Simple breath I can give you 3 times in through the nose, out through the mouth. Shh. Shh. Calm breath, right? Feel your spine. Let your mind cool down. Breathe in for 3. Hold. Breathe out for 6. Right? And you can do this hand on the heart, hand on the belly. And there's no app needed for this, right? You just set a timer, you just do it for a minute or so. Okay? This will really help at least clear the static, right? That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to clear that static away. Okay? Your ego wants answers always. Your spirit wants space. So the next time you're stuck, stop asking, how do I solve this? Instead, ask, I wonder how this will work out. I wonder what my next aligned step is. Right? I wonder. I wonder. I wonder. I wonder. I wonder if wonder unlocks the front door to the 5th dimension, guys. That's what most people don't know. But I'm here to reveal it to you today. Not with pressure, with openness, right? Wonder unlocks openness. Openness unlocks the 5D free energies. Start spiraling in. It's that awe, that wonder, right? I'm not in fear of God. I'm in awe of God. My goodness, this thing is beyond me, right? Most people fear punishment, right? I would say give up the need to be sure. Yeah, thank you, brother. Try that out. That's really good as just a basic breath work for you to just get started and just do it for a minute a day, right? And you'll notice the difference. Your stress will be like if you're cortisoled out, right? You're stressed the fuck out in the mornings. That's how we wake up, right? Just and the helps because when we were younger, right? We used to that's how our mommies used to put us to sleep. Okay. So as a very, very gentle release. And it's like an ocean breath, like a right? So I'm doing it with my teeth closed, exhaling out. It's really nice. I actually modified this from an energy coach years ago. Yeah, that energy coach used to work with Owen Cook or whatever. The Gwen was his name. I worked with him for a solid few weeks, and yeah, it was really really good during that time as well. I worked with a lot of coaches actually, but I just find that I'm kind of like the Bruce Lee mentality. I'll take what I can absorb, what's useful, you know, discard the rest and add what's unique. How long do we hold the breath? Um, maybe like do it for like 3 seconds. Yeah. Inhale for 3, hold for 3, exhale for 6. That'd be a good one. And the fractionated breath, what you're doing is you're getting extra oxygen. Yeah. Less is more, exactly, bro. Step by step in peaceful presence, all the power lays. No joke. Still reminded on it moment to moment. Yeah. Yeah, you just got to catch yourself when you're feeling that nervous system flare up, right? That's what, I mean, one of our posts on Instagram, if you look up Primal Sutra on Instagram, is your nervous system is your new religion. Because when it's clear, the gods speak to you. When it's frazzled, lower astral beings are connected to you more so, right? So that's why your nervous system runs this thing, this game called life, the brain, right? The nerves. So give up the need to be sure, right? You're probably taught that if you weren't sure, you'd be punished. So now you ignore guidance because it feels vague, too soft, too uncertain. But your spirit speaks in nudges, not instructions, a knowing, a soft pull, a whisper. So ask yourself, does this feel real? Does it lift me or shrink me? And then just trust that power, because intuitive truth is really quiet, but it's unwavering, right? So that means being right, stop looking for the right answer, because right is the trick of the ego. It's usually just code for what will get me accepted. What's right to do is what will get me accepted, right? So real guidance doesn't really care about your validation or approval. It only cares about your alignment. So instead, you can ask things like, what's true for me right now? What supports my path, my truth, my evolution right now, right? And know that the guidance you're going to get is subtle. Don't expect fireworks all of a sudden. It might just be a thought that passes through, a body signal, a random phrase, a strange pull. But if you ignore it, you miss it. If you ignore it long enough, you start to suffer. And if one person ignored the inner nudge, you know, later on, he was in the hospital, let's say. He ignored his inner nudge for so long that it reached a breaking point where spirit had to reconvene and say, stop, enough is enough, right? The body whispers before it screams, guys. Okay? Be brave enough to follow through. Okay, I'll speak on your question, actually, the thoughts of disillusionment in a second, Guido. Okay? But be brave enough to follow through. Sometimes your guidance will ask for hard changes, like just, leave this job, change paths, tell the truth, right? So basically, that's what guidance does. It liberates you without needing to demonize anyone, right? So there isn't one solution, there are many solutions. So if you look for the one right way, you get trapped in paralysis. Ask for options, a buffet, right? And feel into what resonates. Does this resonate? Does this archetype, this frequency resonate with me? Does this energy resonate with me? Does this resonate? Does this resonate? Right? And all you're doing is you're bringing it back to your natural, your normal, your baseline. Now your resonance and you are one, right? You're not here to force certainty. You're here to feel alignment. Living intuitively makes life easier, guys. It's like walking through the jungle with a guide and a flashlight instead of fumbling in the dark and hoping for the best. Why wouldn't you want that, right? More flow, more protection, more joy, more of you. So breathe, wonder, ask for options, pay attention, follow the guidance even if it's uncomfortable. Say thank you. Say thank you. Say thank you. Repeat the process. Because the truth is, you've always been guided. But you're just now learning how to listen. So if you want to talk to your guides, not just imagine it, not just hope for signs, but really know you're speaking to the same language, not second guessing. No, am I making this up? Mind loops, right? Just clean real-time communication with a subtle support team that's been with you since day uno. Good, because they've been trying to talk to you, but you're just not always tuned in. So first off, are you even open to being guided? That's step zero. Not can you do it? Of course you can. The question is, are you willing to do it? Are you actually available to be guided? Because guidance isn't going to shove itself through your defenses, right? If you're bracing against the world, arguing with your own gut, or expecting something flashy and dramatic, you're missing it. Guides are very subtle, okay? But who are these guides, right? They come in many forms: ancestors, angels, nature spirits, light beings, higher self aspects, galactic helpers. There's so many, right? Just like the human realm has so much variety, so does the spirit realm, guys, right? Different ethnicities, different races, different species. They don't care what you call them. They care that you listen to them. You're not just a human body fumbling through chaos, your spiritual presence having a learning experience. And your guides are here to support that growth. Don't force certainty, feel alignment, and give thanks. Okay, I understand. Ito says, I feel like my guide has been shaking his head the past few weeks. Let's be clear, man. So they're going to push you to a brink to get rid of all the illusions, right? Because the illusions are dropping and the veil is thinning. That's all they're doing. So don't think they're like, this guy, they're not like that. Okay, guides aren't here to fix your life. They're not your personal rescue squad. They won't override your free will. They won't play games with you. Think of them like a coach just on the sideline, right? You're still on the court. Look left, shift here, try that. Triangle formation, right? You got to make the move. You got to quiet down to hear them. If you've ever had a friend call you, venting, crying at you, spiraling, you try to offer them help, and they just bulldoze right past it, talking in circles. They don't want guidance. That friend wants rescue. And rescue is not what guides do, remember. Guidance is co-creation. It's not codependence. Okay? Guidance is co-creation, not codependence. So ask yourself, am I listening or am I looping in my own drama? If you want clear direction, you have to get still. That's a baseline. Okay, different guides, different roles. Let's say healer guides are more physical, emotional, energetic support. Teacher guides help you deliver lessons from books, maybe movies, videos you watch. Joy guides slip humor into the darkest days. Just help you breathe again and just laugh again, right? Protection guides just warn you, kind of redirect you, intervene if they're needed, right? Relationship guides support you in navigating love, intimacy, family. Sometimes your guidance comes as a voice, but other times it comes as a gut feeling. Maybe you overhear a conversation that answers your question that you had. Maybe you get pulled into a store and boom, the shoes fall on your lap or something. Synchronicity appears. That's how it works. It's subtle, but it's surgical. Right? Sometimes me and Ryan G, we get these random impulses to go on a drive, right? When we're on when we're randomly at an event. So essentially, oh man, I just spilt this drink. Hold on. Probably my guides. Who is it this time? Who is it this time? Is it my Heyoka? Is it Master Shampoo? Ah, come on, Master Shampoo. I appreciate you, brother. Take care. Okay. This is how you got to handle it. Really, just what I did there, as he made me spill my uh hot drink, right? Essentially, that's how you got to handle it. Hey, man, I take it as a joke, man. Okay, I get it. Stay focused, right? Get on track. Okay, got you. Right? It's very light. It's very nonchalant, right? The nonchalant oat. Oat is a new Gen Z term, by the way, guys. It means of all time. Oat. Okay? We used to hate oats growing up, but now we love it, right? So your guides suggest, but you choose, right? One woman warned her husband, not to take a job. It looked great, but she felt something was off. He ignored it, landed under a tyrant boss. Stress skyrocketed. Eventually, he quit. Her guides gave her the signal. She spoke it. But free will, that's still the rule. You got to say yes to being guidable. That means quieting your mind, being really clear on what you want, following those nudges, and trusting the signals even when your logic says, nah, that can't be possible. What the fuck? That's too weird, bro. Right? And it feels too random or too easy. You say this, I don't know, but this feels right. And that's how it starts. I promise you that's how it starts. You don't need to figure everything out. You just need to pay attention to it. And your spirit is already fluent in this language. You're just relearning it. What do I need help with? Breathe. Listen. Follow through. Say thank you. Even if it's small, just as finding yellow shoes somewhere, or even if it's as big as, getting a divorce and saving a home. Whatever it may be, the truth is you were never meant to do this alone. Your spirit guides, they're not some luxury. They're your team, man. They're your team, Chica, right? Your squad, your support net. They can't play the game for you. They can offer direction, but you got to decide, move, and evolve. So turn the receiver on, quiet the noise. And when that whisper comes, you trust it. That's the real work. That's the real magic, okay? Cutting through the noise so you can hear your own soul again. A lot of us are waking up to the 5D. We're starting to feel it in our bones, right? It's more than just this meat suit running errands for the Matrix. You got these inner senses. You got some guidance coming in, some divine crew that's got your back. But let's be honest, you're not always here. You're not always sure if you're hearing them right. Sometimes you wonder, am I just imagining this? Right? Is this just wishful thinking? What if I'm making all of this up in my mind? I've heard it. I heard it all. Absolutely valid. Right? Absolutely valid. And that doubt, that's not intuition. That's just programming. Okay? It's just programming. Doubt your doubts. Okay? Doubt your doubts. Hey, mate, says Stanley. What do you know about the Golden Dawn rituals for tapping in? It's been like a workout for my aura. I do like some of the high ceremonial magic in the Golden Dawn. Yeah, the banishing ritual would be one of my favorites, brother. I highly recommend it. I do it just to feel sharp and clean, and it is a workout for the aura. Yeah, for sure. I've noticed the pronunciation matters, so make sure you're like really tapping into it, right? And just kind of allowing yourself to fully immerse into it. Okay. So really go deep with it, right, brother? So like Magu, like really go into it. Vigavura. Right? You kind of have to access that point. Kind of like, oh my goodness, this gospel is like suddenly a symbiote that's taking control of me. That's kind of how I feel when I start with the Golden Dawn stuff. But anyway, I like some of their stuff, not all of it. Of course, we were more of a neo-Atlantean kind of flow state mastery path working. We're more so connected with well-being and healing and peak performance, peak presence. So our main interest is flow states, but irregardless, I still love those some of those rituals. I learned it early on with some sorcerers and who've actually been in the Golden Dawn initiated. So yeah, highly recommended, brother. If you know what you're doing, go for it. Go for it. Okay. So guides aren't here to control your life. They're here to take the wheel while you nap in the back seat. No, they're not. Okay, they're coaches, they're not controllers. You still have to play the game. Still got to get your hands dirty. They'll whisper, nudge, they'll guide. Got to take that step. And get out of your head, right? Quit needing to know how, when, what, if. Spirit rarely explains, right? It suggests. Some of the most powerful guidance begins with, I don't know why, but I feel I need to, right? Appreciate you too, brother. Okay. That feeling without logic is the portal. Let's say you walk into a random bookstore on an impulse, right? You don't even know why you went to that bookstore. You go to the magazine section and a random college guidebook falls on your lap. You randomly flip to a random page. It has the school that you need, the program that you want. You apply, you get accepted, your whole life changes. That's a runner guide in action, right? It's not flashy, it's just divine timing, inner alignment, boom. So sometimes we have those shift moments or quantum leaps. Okay. Ever just had a book randomly fall off the shelf into your hands? Okay. My bae knows. Okay. Because someone recommends the exact thing that you've been secretly asking for. That's not random. That's your teacher guide, right? Sliding in the information. Been happening to folks for decades. Um, we tantric tech tycoons need a lot of grounding in nature, Ida. Yeah. Yeah. Are we pronouncing your name right, brother? Is it Ghetto or Guido? But yeah. Anyway, here's how the guides speak. It's suddenly an idea out of nowhere. A random pull in the gut that makes zero logical sense. A podcast you randomly come across that hits you right with the truth of something. A name, a place, a word that repeats until you pay attention to it. But again, you have to be guidable, right? Well, you choose to be. I mean, you're not just looking for someone to fix you. You're willing to receive, consider, move with it. So guides help those who are moving. You're not going to get to step 10 if you haven't taken step 1. It's not control, it's co-creation. So healer guides might point you towards a food allergy you never even thought of. Messenger guides might whisper a name into your dreams. Helper guides might, rescue your day so you end up at the right place, right time. So we're seeing it's all about alignment, right, guys? Here's the warning. Spirit guides won't flatter your ego. Okay? Tell you what someone else should do. Remove your free will. Try to manipulate people. Tell you you're better than others. That's some unresolved ego need. Okay, that's not spirit. Are you guidable? Can you receive the whisper and say yes before logic crushes it? Can you move on instinct instead of approval? Can you say, I don't know, but I'm listening? I don't know, but I'm listening. I don't know, but I'm listening. Ah, both are okay as long as it's not Jido. Okay, got it. Ghetto, uh, Guido is unorthodox Buddhism. Amazing, brother. Awesome. Very cool. All right. And once you really start listening, life opens up. You feel supported, not stranded. Fear drops, synchronicity rises, and miracles don't just happen, they become your natural rhythm again. It's like Einstein said, you either live as if nothing's a miracle or as if everything is. And when you live from the 5D, everything is. So you've never been alone. Your guides are just walking with you. They're not here to impress you. They're here to empower you. Okay? They're here to empower you. Um, so yeah, you've never been alone. Just get quiet, stay open, ask for a nudge. Let's just talk a little bit about the disillusionment thing that you said. So, just my experiences, Mathis, require your ego as a sacrifice, else they don't care, even if you're in the abyss. You can sometimes do that to dissolve your ego in the ritual itself. Yeah. Um, very powerful. Inducing a theta state with brain waves. You can do a lot. Okay. I've done a lot of the early day, self experimentation. So I don't want people to go overboard with that because they are like, like training wheels for a bike. You know what I mean? Give that you most cling to, test of a detachment. Just know this. Thanks. Very good session. Blessings. Blessings, brother. So, how to deal with a fake society and disillusionment. Okay. The thing is, you were never actually meant to fit in. You were meant to see through this samsara, right? Disillusionment isn't a breakdown, it's a sacred initiation. The veil rips. You see the plastic, the masks, the loops, the ache, the grief. That's your soul waking up to the simulation, right? Rage if you need to, cry if you need to. Don't bypass it, but just know it's just a stage one deconstruction. If you hate the system, build a signal, I always say. If society's fake becomes so real that it cracks timelines, right? Use your heartbreak to create art, systems, rituals to connect to those off grid emotionally or energetically, cleanse the residue of programming, right? Lone wolves become feral, but coded beings find each other through resonance, not noise. So look for eyes that still sparkle in people, right? Speech that still stutters with soul, humor that hurts in the best way. That's your tribe, man. Live your frequency, not their rules. They sell roles. You emit essence. They need systems to feel real. You need breath and intent. Don't try to wake everyone up, right? That's a spiritual ego in disguise. Some people are karmically invested in the illusion. Let them dream, let them chase, let them loop. But you got to walk with clarity, not contempt. When you realize the world's fake, don't break. Build something worth bleeding for, right? So we're already all connected. All that's left is to stop arguing with our own souls. Let's get it today. Upward spiral. Thank you so much, guys, for tapping in. I hope you enjoyed this. I know the background is very trippy. Okay. Thank you for being on the psychedelic adventure with me, and we'll be back in another episode tomorrow. Let's get it. Jumanji, June ending right into Jewel, July. Let's get it. Upward spiral. Thank you, guys. Stay legendary. We got this. You got this. May the flow be with you. What's up?